Tonight, we are turning the clock back to 400 AD and talking about one of the most tragic structure fires ever to happen in the ancient world. Experts say this set humanity back 1,000 years. What a waste of all those blood, sweat, and tears. I'm, of course, talking about the Library of Alexandria. I'm your host, Casey.
I'm Moneymaker Mac.
I'm Julius Joe.
And I'm Mike.
So, what is
the Library of Alexandria, Matthew?
what is the Library of Alexandria? Yeah,
It was obviously a library in Alexandria.
Look,
Yeah, it was in Greece, and it held like a shit ton of information.
Egypt.
it wasn't in Greece. No, it was in Egypt. But it was.
Oh,
yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
Okay, Greece. All right,
But-
Egypt. Yeah. Okay.
But- Yeah, it was-
You guys,
It was.
you
Sorry.
guys, the perfect intro for it. It's the Library of Alexandria, aka the original Wikipedia. That is what.
But from what I've been told and the little bit that I read, it held like a shit ton of like information, and then when it burnt down, it set us back like 200 years.
1,000.
Yeah.
They would
Listen
take
to my intro.
I don't think it was that
Okay.
far. I don't think it set us back 2,000 years. I think
1,000, not two.
I
just
don't think
one.
it set us. The reason it didn't set us back that
One
far, and I'm gonna
century.
say.
But if
I
you
want
look
to
at
say
some
this
of the,
because they weren't defeated.
they had some of the original writings that people thought were discovered way later in time. Turned out that it was there, like
In-
the
yeah,
first writing of the
in what-
Bible. A bunch of other shit that, and then certain like scientific and like geological discoveries, like mathematics.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, math. No, because things were still carried on.
Well,
But
no,
as far as like,
people originally
wasn't-
thought things started at whatever, but it dated farther back. That's
Let me
Yeah.
give you guys a little background
All
info, and then we can
keep let's go.
let me give you some background info because I like what you're laying down, Matthew. But I want everybody to be
All right.
educated.
I'm picking up what you're
You know
putting
what?
down, bro.
Yeah, I'm listening, Matthew. I want to hear it. No, the library was known as the capital of knowledge and learning. It is basically the way that the college is set up. How it was set up is they was structured how modern day universities are set up. It's
Yeah,
they
one of the
use
first.
it as a basis basically. So in Greece, the Athenian tyrant.
Oh,
I don't know how to say this person's name, so bear with me. It's Pesapos. I
Let me
don't
see.
even know how to say this person. Let me put it in the
you
group.
did it right the first time.
I thought if I just said it, it would come out, but that didn't work.
You said it right the first time.
Are you on Wiki?
mechanically.
Go ahead.
No, these are my. Well, I mean, I got some of this note off of Wiki, yeah, but
Don't
it's
say it, dude. No one's gonna judge you. You're around friends.
I'll judge him.
no, that's why I try.
And
It's
people around the
it's
world.
peace.
Say it, pussy.
Say what you just little.
Say it, just.
No, I can't say that.
What
The
Does it
fuck
start
is
with a
his
P?
name?
Yeah,
is
it's
it? Philadelphus?
Is it pussy?
no, it's a
Ptolemy?
hard one.
Well, so it's the opposite of pussy.
Hold on.
Penis
Hold on.
leaves.
Pisistratus.
Pisistratus. I don't even know.
You
That's how the
lied. Say it
fucking
again.
video said.
Say it again.
Pisistratus?
Pisistratus? Yeah,
Pisistratus?
but it's Tristoa. So it's Pisistrastoa.
Pisistratus?
Yeah, it's a fucking mouthful. That's why I was like, I don't even know how. Anyway, they were the first person to found the first major public library in the 6th century, the 6th century BC. It was a library of mixed heritage of both Greek and Near Eastern book collections, which spawned the idea for the Library of Alexandria.
Casey, weren't they? A lot of them were like the original works, is what I heard.
Well,
that they would bring like original things, and somebody would make a copy and give them the copy, or something.
Yeah. If we were talking about the Library of Alexandria just yet, but we're talking about in Greece right now. We're almost to the
Oh.
library, Joseph. But yeah,
Oh.
that is true. That is pretty
So
fucked up, though.
Is this
Yeah,
pretty
it
much
is
just
grimy.
the fucking Citadel from fucking Game of Thrones in Old Town?
Basically.
What it sounds
Like,
No,
what are you
yeah,
doing?
but
Like, give me that.
what Joseph was just talking about, if you came into Alexandria's port on a ship traveling, whatever, you'd have to release all your books, ledgers, anything with any writing on it. You'd have to give to the college or the library, and they'll have official scribes go copy it all down, keep the originals, and give the people back copies. So,
Yeah, it was hella
That's
graphic.
that way they had all
Right.
original copies at their library. They wanted
That-
all.
And they could rewrite what you thought you knew. They could just change the words and give it back to you. Be like, hey, listen to this.
You know, I didn't even think
That's
about
odd.
that as, you know, that's probably actually what. Well, I don't know, because it was at the time.
It is probably what happened.
Yeah.
Well, so
at the
what
time
happened
it
to the
was more.
college-
It was more later in the years, I would say. But
It was
early
very-
on, I don't think. I
yeah.
think it was more. I think it was more. What the fuck, honorable. But I'm sure
Not
once the
necessarily.
politicians.
Well,
Once the politicians got their fingers into it, I think that's when it
Well,
probably would have, where
brainwash-
shit like that would have got into it.
brainwashing was a common thing. So every culture that conquered another culture, what they would do, they'd start by deleting their culture first. So they would burn. So it's one of the reasons why I say the library was burnt in the first place.
Yeah, they
So
burned a lot of
whenever
things that
whenever one culture steps their foot into another land, foreign land, and they want to conquer them, they first start burning their history. They burn their history first.
unfortunately,
They
burned.
forget why they're there, and then all of a sudden
Unfortunately, they
become
burned,
Romans. They become whatever, like step
unfortunately-
foot there.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they burned the world's knowledge because there was a lot of stuff that wasn't just their
Yeah.
culture. in
Oh
there.
yeah. A lot of it, like,
How many
and so if it's
scrolls
anything
was it,
like what
Casey?
Casey was saying, all their
I guess
books
we're
that
not
were
there yet,
forfeited,
actually.
all the books that were forfeited upon arrival or wherever, right? The original
The people-
documents probably
people
were there.
knew
There was
going
probably
in-
some knowledgeable
people
stuff
knew-
there.
The people that
I
were going
think-
into court knew they had to give up their stuff to the library.
Yeah,
it
in order
wasn't.
to
It
go
wasn't
there.
like it was like, oh, they were showing up and like, give me your shit. They
Mhm.
knew they had
I
to
don't-
release the stuff. To
I
them.
don't
Casey, the
think
video link that
technology
you
was
sent-
lost.
Casey, the video
Some
link you sent,
technology
I
may be
forgot
lost, but
whose video it was. Well, no, a lot of it discovered later on, but it turns out that like originally was written there.
well,
Like that's why they're saying the whole 1,000 whatever years setback.
well,
because
I
we
don't think it was
could've-
1,000-year setback. I think it's an exaggeration. I think anthropology took the biggest hit more than anything with that, with the burning of it.
Well, no, they're just saying
anthropology-
that what they
Anthropology
thought-
took the biggest hit. Technologically,
Anthropology.
Let's say you
Are you talking
learn
about the bodies?
I'm talking about the burning of
Or are you talking about
Alexandria.
archaeology?
Anthropology
the
is
library.
a study of human culture.
So I think
Is
it took the
I thought
biggest
that was like
hit.
body. Oh, I'm thinking of anatomy. Never mind. Sorry, my
No,
bad.
the thing is,
You
they're
think of my
saying-
anatomy,
they're
pervert?
saying that we could have learned things a lot earlier on than what we did.
Yeah,
Because
yes and no.
everything
Because again, if everything there that wasn't exactly written, so say they did store, like say they did, so people upon arrival forfeited their books upon them. They kept it. They gave them copies of it, which could have been plagiar, or they could have actually been fake copies. They could have actually rewritten whatever, like
Well, that's
the
the thing.
ideologies or whatever they thought,
these are
right? Fake
fact-
shit.
This isn't
But
a conspiracy.
If this was,
It's
if there's
fact-based
some
books.
vault of knowledge, but if
Fact-based
this is
books that
vault of
came out.
knowledge, I don't think it set people back too much technologically, because like the Roman era
anything,
like lived
man.
for so long, everyone had knowledge of this.
What do you think would happen
Forever,
if somebody
it's-
dropped something that's common knowledge
Yeah,
today, way back then?
I don't think anyone lost technology. Possibly if there was some
mathematics,
if there was some
science.
Yeah, I don't think it's that they lost technology. They lost the building blocks that would have created technology.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
they
That it
lost some of
would've
the building
set-
blocks that
it set
would have
back
possibly,
because-
potentially, yes.
They could have been learning about this stuff back then. Instead, nobody
And then-
learned about it till way later.
Yeah, and then
And
with
then we find
Catholicism
out that there
coming
was
in,
a
they
place-
destroyed a lot
Yeah.
more science, and it was
Yeah.
just one thing after another.
But I mean, 1,000 years. But I mean, there's no way that. I mean, just like I doubt that. It's like also, but also you could say, yeah, it probably could have too. There's no actual science to knowing how many years it set you back. Because maybe
Yeah,
someone
like-
could drop an
Well,
iPhone back in time, and then people would have been like,
Everything-
"Oh shit!" But then nobody would do anything. with
Everything
it.
that was relevant was not lost at that period. That's
Yeah.
what I
No,
was
there
saying.
was
Everything that
relevant stuff that was lost, but came back way
No.
later.
Well, the fact that why would they, like, the last person remember that shit is in this
The
book.
fact that the Earth
No, it
rotated
was-
around the sun was there. Like the stuff like that were all in this archive
The
that
sh-
people thought.
so they
were just
say. So they
stuff.
say. I think the conspiracy in this is maybe the archive wasn't as big as they thought it was, and maybe it's
I
just
think the only conspiracy surrounding this from whatever is
it's like
that who burned
why
it
would
down.
all the important information only be recorded once and put there, and now it's
wasn't-
gone? Doesn't make any
it had
sense.
sister places and other things too. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think the conspiracy is what was there. I think it's
Well,
The
just
conspiracy
okay.
is why it got burned or who burned it down.
Well, they
Nobody
burned it
can
down as
pinpoint
an
who
act of
burned it
revenge.
down.
That's what you do. So if their sister books have important knowledge, it was recorded more than once.
Why does any
It wasn't
museum
lost.
take stuff that
It
doesn't
wasn't
belong
lost.
to them?
Not everything was
do-
copied like that. So what they did is
Museums
Why is
take
there
stuff
They
off.
sacred
said-
knowledge only recorded once?
Well, why do British museums have stuff that belong to another countries that they have no right
that's
to?
and that's art. And art's
Well,
a
yeah,
different
see,
thing.
you can make a illogical whatever to anything. It's government.
Well, I'm
outrage.
talking
It's a
about
government
science.
saying,
Why would
"This
science
belongs
be
to us
only
'cause
put
we're
in one
modern
place?
world." Well, yeah, but I'm just saying you can find.
Why
an
would
excuse for
ideas not be
anything.
recorded in a separate location too?
Why, if somebody wins the lottery, they have to pay more than half of it in taxes, whereas somebody who ripped people off and whatever still get to keep most of it and don't have to pay taxes? Like you
I don't
know,
get the
because they
correlation
know how
there.
to use the tax game and get the breaks that they need.
I don't
So
get the
that's
correlation
well, no,
there.
there's a prize tax that takes about 55% if it's at.
I don't get the correlation there, but
I just
do
know
know
people have told me
if-
how much they actually get from this 1.5 billion lottery
if
thing.
something was discovered in one area and it was recorded in a book, wouldn't other people know about it, and would it be even passed down through mouth? Because there's a
I don't
lot
know,
of
but we're
Well,
doing the thing that
what it is at the time, Egypt was Egypt and Rome were like the main leaders in technology, so they were recording a lot of their own
Why does
stuff.
America tell people
And
they ain't
putting
allowed to
it
have
there.
news? What we do, like
Yeah. But the thing is,
And
things
then
are
as far as stuff
yeah, but why
getting
do
lost,
why do high
it's
powers
this sack
do-
that's on Alexandria. Also, it wasn't just that got attacked. This was a conquering nation.
Yes,
Well,
we're also
This
sounding
shit perished
sporadic and completely
again
out of
because
things. We just skipped
they-
the entire.
yeah, they
Think
did what
about
the
it.
Romans did to them. They did what the Romans did to
Yeah,
them.
but
The
it's like,
Romans
why does
burned their
any
culture.
big power do what they do to other people? Like, I mean, America's a big
Because if the
example.
shit works, don't
That's
fuck it.
that's
If it's not
how
broke,
you
don't fix it. I mean, that's what it. That's what I mean.
that's how you
That's
that's
the
how you
answer to
conquer a nation. It's
Yeah.
there is
But we're
you
not.
know,
They
there's
obviously didn't
attrition.
care. They didn't care about the repercussions of fucking.
Well, there's attrition, but also like whenever you take over a nation, it's easier to burn their history, burn their culture, burn their books.
And it's a very
and
barbaric
then
way of doing.
When
things.
they have kids, their kids don't know who they are. They're Roman. They're
Yeah,
Roman.
but I mean, it doesn't. I mean, yeah, we're just.
Exact. But that's the thing is, and I think with there was a lot of knowledge lost, but history's so distorted by the sense that's written by the winners. Who knows? We probably lost more J.K. Rowling shit than was actually important. We probably lost more fucking fantasy than we did
Yeah.
actual
But
books.
we also
The-
completely
this-
skipped everything. We just went to the very ending of the.
Sorry. Shit. Go ahead.
I
All
don't
right. We'll recycle back. Let's go. Let's go back. Sorry.
So following the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BC, there was a power grab for his empire among his top-ranking officers, and the empire ended up dividing up into three parts: the Antigonids or Gonids dynasty
Goniads.
controlled Greece. Yeah. That's what I was trying to avoid saying that. The Seleucids. Yeah, I'm going to say that. They had their capitals in Asia Minor. And then the Ptolemies controlled Egypt with Alexandria as its capital. And then that, of course, is where our library was said to have laid.
So what were those
My
people
mouth is
called?
like super dry. Fucking
The Seleucids.
yeah, and then the Antigonids. Gonids. Sorry, I am not.
Gonads.
I'm. This is
The
why like, I
Antigonids?
loved reading about this.
The
Antigonids.
Antigonids,
I
the
love-
Seleucids, Leu, that's Lou. Seleucids. controlled, and then Ptolemy, the Ptolemies.
Yeah, I know that one. I loved reading about this, but I was like, God, there's some hard names in here.
Mhm.
But yeah, so they divided it up. So yeah. However I said that it was divided. But what we really care about is
So
these
Ptolemy the First ended up taking over, correct? He won that little thing, the little skirmish between those three, right? Or
well,
was it just
nobody won.
he was
They
was
got
the one who-
divided.
so he
He
but
took
under
Egypt.
Ptolemy's rule is where this shit started, right?
Yes.
Ptolemy the First, or
Yes, sir.
but
Yeah, well, the Ptolemy the First, he built he like laid the groundwork out for. Like, are we talking about like, for the library or like
yeah, the library
his
or
dynasty or whatever?
well, his
I don't know if that's
dynasty
what you call it.
is didn't. I
But
don't-
like, so yeah, so Ptolemy the First, he was the one who laid the idea out. He put in the groundwork, got the, and then, he was the one who he was the idea man, but it wasn't until Ptolemy the Second, he was the one who built the library and put it into fruition. And I believe that's what I was trying to read ahead of my notes while everybody was talking, but then what's it called? I got sidetracked because I'm on all these substances right now.
Sick. Okay.
Let me see. Hold on one sec. Just give me like 30 seconds, you guys. Bear with me.
So
You
the
can
only
cut this
dude
out.
who has like said anything about this library of the making that's been actually recorded was Aristeas, who sent a letter to fucking hold on, what is this? So yeah, Aristeas wrote a letter and it claimed that the library was founded during the reign of Ptolemy the First, and that it was initially organized by Demetrius of Phalerum, a student of Aristotle in Greece, Athens, to be exact. And that student took refuge in Alexandria within the Ptolemaic court. So fucking a student of Aristotle, that's pretty fucking dope.
There was a
One of
bunch
the-
of famous
one of
people.
the-
I can't pronounce any of the names, but I mean, or famous people. Whatever.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I loved reading about this, but their fucking names are so hard.
They're
one guy
difficult,
that
but luckily
was
there's a
really-
lot of like Greek and Roman type shit, and that's a little bit easier.
So the Macedonian kings who succeeded Alexander the Great as rulers in the Near East wanted to promote Hellenistic culture. Sorry,
Hellenistic or hedonistic?
Hellenistic.
The fuck is that?
I'm not really sure. I didn't know you were going to ask me. I wasn't prepared to get into this, but for argument's sake, I will. What's it called? It's a fusion of ancient Greek world with that of Western Asia, Northeast African, and Southwestern Asian. This mixture gave rise to a comic Attic-based Greek dialect known as Koine Greek, which became the language throughout the ancient world.
Okay.
I think they just threw in some fucking Latin right there, Greek right there, without in a regular sentence. You just go black and white.
Who, me?
No, Mike. I think he's fucking with me. Anyway, yeah. So they wanted to promote their Hellenistic culture and learning throughout the known world, and that was known as a program of cultural imperialism.
Imperialism?
Yes, I don't know why I was having difficulty saying that.
Okay.
Mike, it shows me how you make me sweaty. All these rulers vested their interest in collecting and compiling information from both Greek and Far Eastern kingdoms of the Near East. These libraries enhanced the city's worth, attracted scholars, and provided practical assistance in ruling and governing the kingdoms. Every major Hellenistic urban center would have a royal library, and then the Library of Alexandria was unprecedented because the scope of the Thelemites' ambitions, unlike their predecessors and contemporaries, the Thelemites wanted to produce a respiratory of
A
repository,
repository.
yes, of all knowledge. To support this endeavor, they were well positioned in Egypt, and their where they were at was the ideal habitat for the, how do you say that? The papyrus? Is that how you say that?
Yeah, papyrus is where the word paper
Okay.
comes from.
I was just making sure I was saying that right. The papyrus plant, which created the monopoly for the materials that they needed to amass
Make
their
paper.
knowledge. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was saying that right. Mike, you're
Papyrus.
making me really sweaty, man.
Is it the effects I'm putting on my video stuff, or
It was because you keep cycling. If you just left one, it'd be okay.
what do you mean?
You know what I mean? Stop changing it.
I put it back to normal.
It's like, dude, change that fucking filter. What's with that fucking ass vampire you have on your shoulder? Fucking weird.
For those that don't know,
looks like a fucking
our-
penis fly trap.
our fact man over here, Casey, is on streams right now, so I'm changing all the color things on our video chat and fucking with him.
Oh, we already talked about the Ptolemy the First was
Yeah, he
the
started
guy who
that
laid the
shit,
groundwork.
and it was finished during Ptolemy II.
The main purpose of the library, they say, was to show the wealth of Egypt to the world. They just want to lay their dicks out there, you know.
Yeah,
It's
they're
like,
just put their big fucking dick and balls right on the tail. Be like, I presented them. This is what I got.
but the what's it called? The contents of the library were used to help rule Egypt as well.
Mm.
But the exact layout was unknown of how the library was set up exactly. But they knew it was comprising a collection of scrolls, Greek columns, a belt-like road that encircled the library, a room for shared dining, a reading room, meetings, gardens, lecture halls, and
Yeah, I'm just gonna imagine the Citadel from Game of Thrones and call it good.
I'm just gonna imagine.
Yeah,
a
basically,
Citadel
yeah.
From I'm just gonna imagine
Rick
a
and
Citadel
Morty.
from Mass Effect.
I just keep thinking of Rick and Morty every time you guys say the Citadel of Ricks.
Was
So
there
they,
was there a masturbating chamber in there? And
I'm sure
it's a
there
bunch
was.
bunch of nerdy guys just hanging.
I mean,
around.
they have the scrolls from everywhere. There has to be a fucking pornographic section.
There is actually that was about 500,000 of the scrolls were actually pornographic.
That actually happens to be the biggest room with like one of the like smallest sections because of all the booths they have.
It didn't set humanity.
And
It didn't
I
set
wish I
humanity
could tell
back
you.
1,000 years. It set the porn industry back 1,000 years. You guys, yeah. If this fire never happened,
They had a bunch of booths in the main room, and then just off the main room, they had the big room for the circle jerks and the orgies.
Oh yeah, and they had a lot of scrolls instructing the best circle jerks. They were way like past their time. They had hexagon jerks. Like they had different shapes. They didn't stop at circles, hexagon, triangles,
Triangle,
cylinders,
pentagon.
if you believe it.
Yeah, they're just all fucking sitting, people on top of their shoulders, just fucking
Cubes. They're rolling these jack off cubes like they were dye.
full 3D fucking images, bruh.
And it's like rolling one, and one guy is fucking flip over.
I heard
Like,
tale once of a
snake eyes.
dodecahedron, which was yeah.
That's insane. But at last, we've never.
The dodecahedron
down.
is the D20, right?
Oh, I actually don't know.
I believe it is.
Almost bad role playing. They actually, this is a fun fact that you didn't get to, and you probably didn't know. But the original fruit.
that's
Fruit by
bold of you to say that I didn't know.
No, you didn't. The original fruit by the foot tongue tattoos were on some of these scrolls.
Yep.
They were the first ones to do them. You guys know what I'm
I
talking
thought
about?
you were gonna make a penis joke or something.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. I already
One of
did
the
that.
here's
Careful,
another
man,
one.
there's
One of the
no
most common jack off booths in this library only had a picture of a bowl of fruit.
Call back. Pure comedy. And you know what that gets you, my friend? That gets you one of these.
Yes.
That one's not as good as the Elmer Fudd
You
one.
you could have just done it better yourself.
Probably.
You do a good. You do a good Beavis.
Yeah, that one's a little fucked up.
Thematic rulers intended for the library to be a collection of all knowledge. And to expand the library's collection, they dispatched royal agents to purchase and collect as many texts as they possibly could on any subject by any author. This was a very aggressive but well-funded policy of book purchasing.
Dude, so were these guys like, if you're not gonna let us buy these books, we're gonna take these books?
No, they were well-funded. Like
I know, but if they're like the book's not for sale, it's like, well, too fucking bad, motherfucker.
well, yeah, I'm sure they fucking give me the book, I'm gonna chop your head off, and you get no gold now.
Yeah. It's like, could you
Fucking
give gold to my
asshole.
family? We've passed that point, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're lucky you're gonna walk away with your fucking life, man.
It's like, I am gonna take a hand though. That one.
The
It's like,
yeah.
Uh,
Oh shit.
that's the one I wipe with. Is like, exactly. Have fun wiping with the other hand.
So older copies of text obviously were favored because it seemed that they assumed that the newer ones had more. It wasn't original, like it was less original. It was more
Yeah,
they were going off
That's
of
not
other
the
people's
OG.
work. Yeah.
it might have been.
And then,
Like they didn't have printing presses back there, so it was translated and copied by someone. There's a margin of error.
Yeah. And this program of book fairs, trips to book fairs. This can't fucking read. I don't know what the fuck. Hold on.
Could you imagine how much fucking money the people who fucking copied down paperwork made? Because you have to know how to read and write.
Oh yeah. They were official scribes too. So I'm sure there was some other fucking shit that they had to
Yeah.
get to have it being official. But what was I gonna say? Oh, the books. No, wait, they're a little undergoing of buying books and shit. They would travel to book fairs in Rhodes and Athens and get shit from there. And then we talked about it earlier. They would take any books, ledgers, anything with written, anything
Yeah,
that
off
came
the
into
ships
port,
and shit.
ships,
Yeah.
people walking in. And then what Matthew was saying earlier, I wish he was here now. What he was saying is like, oh yeah, they can change. Because I didn't even think about this until he said that for some reason. But he's like, oh, they can literally go in there and change stuff. And if you knew, unless you knew exactly what was written down, he's like, then you'd just be going off of that. And then that's
Yep.
it's crazy. Fucking
Which
wild.
I'm
But
sure
I think
if they got stuff from a ship that happened to be like from a place that was considered like a military rival or some shit like that, yeah, they changed that shit.
But they so the library kept all originals, and then the copies were eventually delivered back to the owners.
Yeah.
However long it takes them to ascribe to fucking copy a book, I'm sure it's a time process. There's no quick fucking. I had in school suspension one time, and it was with Mr. Nelson, that fucking cunt, and he slaps a Lord of the Rings book down, the first one, right on my table. Takes a stack of papers, just drops them on the desk too with the pencil. He's like, start copying page by page. I was like, what? I was like, isn't that plagiarism? He's like, not if you're not selling it. And I was
I mean,
like, oh,
he's
okay.
right.
And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So
Do you remember like in like freshman year, sophomore year, whatever, like Mr. Brownie made you write a journal or something? All he cared about was that
Oh,
you
yeah.
wrote in it every fucking day.
Yeah.
Dude, trying to come up with something every day is fucking stupid. So I copied down lyrics to a song that I liked, and then I would just copy it page to page each day for the 3 minutes. Or I believe it was Disaster Piece by Slipknot. I was copying the words down.
Nice.
Yeah.
You should have wrote music.
I have only written a couple songs lyrically.
No, I mean like
Dude, I used to write
actual
poems
music. I don't know how
I actually
you
might
write.
Oh, I don't.
notes.
I could read tabs, and I used to be able to read music when I was. Well, actually, I was able to read music at that time, but I don't practice it enough, so I kind of forgot. So I don't know how to read music anymore. I can read tabs. That's about it. And as far as drums go, I just go by ear, or like if there's a particularly really complicated sounding part, I'll go to YouTube and watch it being played.
Yeah,
like,
I was just how the
live by the drummer.
drums work on that.
Oh, it's drums. It's a lot of just listening and instinct.
No, so the library's primary focus was on collecting is it Homeric? Is that how you say it?
Homeric poems,
Homeric poems.
like Homer.
Homeric.
Yeah, like Homer.
Yeah, I was just here for
Like that. That's a
dude,
Greek.
that was the guy I was talking about earlier.
Homeric poem.
Yeah, him,
Homer
and he was
Simpson's?
the one that was putting the poems in lines. Like actually,
Oh yeah, I got some. I got
yeah. Go
some.
ahead and
Well,
talk about
that's
him because
well, that was just that's the type of poems.
Yeah,
The guy that
Homeric
you're
poems.
talking about, he is. I think he was a 6th librarian. He was fuck. Can't even fucking.
So the
It
person
was
I'm
goddamn
thinking of, he wrote the Odyssey, Homer, and Iliad. Hold on, let me look. Yeah,
isn't
Yeah,
it a
my-
guy that just translated his work? That was
so the language he spoke was Homeric Greek. Yeah, Homer is
He
he wrote the Divine Comedy. Like, dude, this guy was like an OG.
Oh no, it wasn't that guy. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong guy.
Yeah, I thought it was the guy you were talking about because the guy that did the whatever thing, the Homer thing. Oh, the alcohol's hitting me, guys. The guy that did the fucking Homer thing, it said he was separating things into lines.
Oh no, that's Aristophanes Byzantium. That's the guy who did that. He was the 4th head librarian of Alexandria.
And he did
So
what exactly?
so here's go ahead.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what he did, and I'll tell you the story about him after. So he edited poetic text and introduced the division of poems into separate lines on a page, since they previously had been written out just like prose poems.
Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to get at before I stumbled over myself drunkenly, but could not remember his name.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name either.
So
I had
is
to
it
go.
named? It's not named after that guy though. Is it named after the author Homer? You know, who did the Odyssey and shit like that?
Was it? I thought he was the same guy that was rewriting his work. Was it not? No.
Well, Homeric is like a Greek thing, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hold
Well,
on.
let's just move on.
That's the guy who just was talking about. I just did the group.
Yeah, the person I'm talking about, he wrote he was a ancient Greek poet and author. He wrote the Iliad, the Odyssey, the Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy. He did a lot. Let's see. He's considered one of the greatest poets of all time. So
You want to hear a crazy story about the guy that Joseph was Aristophanes? You want to hear a fucking wild story why he was the 4th head librarian?
Oh wait.
I'll tell you.
Right here is what I was talking about. This is from Wikipedia. Aristophanes of Beza, whatever.
Byzantium.
Byzantium, dude, I can't fucking talk.
I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I said it.
He invented the system of Greek diacritics and was the first to divide poetic texts into lines. And Aristarchus of Samothrace, how do you say that word? Who produced the definitive text of the Homeric poems as well as extensive commentaries on them during the reign of the Ptolemy the Third.
Ptolemy.
Ptolemy?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
I was trying to read it like pterodactyl. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that's how I just say tuh.
Yeah, like a
pterodactyl.
pterodactyl. That's not a pterodactyl noise. That's the best I got.
Caw-caw.
The pigman.
That's why I think, because I was reading this off of and I'm reading this off of Wikipedia right now. I just seen the Homeric thing, so that's why I kept thinking of the Homer thing.
Well, let me tell you a little cool story about this guy.
Let me tell you something. A cool story about your mom.
Yeah, she's a whore, we know. So according to legend, Aristophanes was one of 7 judges appointed for a poetry contest hosted by Ptolemy III. All 6 other judges favored one competitor, but he favored the one who the audience liked the least. When I was reading this, I was like, "Oh, he's a fucking cunt." And then, that's what my first thought was. But then it gets crazy. He was like, he then declared.
Wait. Before you say his name, cue me first, because you got to get this. Just say, and his name was.
And his name was. I don't know what it was. I don't know what you're leading me up to.
I thought you were gonna give us the name of somebody. My bad. That was just a waste of time.
I thought you had something. I was like, what did you want me to do? No.
I thought you were gonna give us the name of the poet that he favored, and I was gonna do a drum roll before it. Wait, whatever.
Oh no.
Whenever I bought someone, let's act like it never happened. Let's just go. Let's roll with it.
But okay, so I thought he was being a cup, but then he declared that all the poets except the one that he picked were committing plagiarism, and then they were thus disqualified. And then the king demanded that he proves his claims of plagiarism, and so he did. He located all the authors that were plagiarized in the library by memory, and that was impressive enough for Ptolemy III, and he appointed him the head of the Library of Alexandria after that.
That's actually super dope.
That's what I said. I was like, I thought he was being a cunt at first, but then because I was like, he was like, no, everybody else likes everybody, all these this one guy, but nobody likes the one guy I like.
He was like, false, yeah, pretty good when I heard it the first time.
Oh,
they're not poets.
But that's dope though, because he went into the library, just like grabbed every fucking piece that was plagiarized off the shelves. Like, well, here's this guy. Oh, is this one over here too? Here's all your works.
I have a hard time memorizing things, but when I hear something, like a lot of times I could tell what it is. Anna's grandma one time came over and she was like, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but this is a quote or whatever from this poet, and I was like, oh, it's Khalil Gibran or Gibran. I don't know how you actually say it either, but it was like, I know. Yeah, but I recognize the way he does that because it was like the prophet thing. It's like, and they ask whatever, speak of us of this and whatever, and then he would start talking in a poem thing. But I recognize that because I used to read I would check out books from the library and read his poems, or I'd look them up online when I was in my computer class and stuff because he just sounded cool. I heard of him from Boondocks because Huey actually quotes him a lot. So I started reading some of his stuff. Same thing with Edgar Allan Poe. It's just basic whatever. But I mean, I don't have any of the shit memorized. It's just like the style of it. I probably recognize a fucking line or two when I hear it. But yeah. I don't know. What was I getting at?
Okay, I was trying to get back to where I was at. Because we were talking about Homeric poems, and then
dude's a beast for memorizing all these poems.
Oh yeah. Like that's what I said. I was like, I thought he was being a cunt, and then I was like, oh, okay. I see you.
He got his dick sucked hella because I assume back then I was the equivalent of a rapper or a hip hop head. So he got.
I was just thinking,
a hip hop head.
What if there was just some fucking Alexandrian kid He's just
Sorry.
sitting there in the library. His head shaking. He's writing on his little papyrus leaf. Fucking these fire ass rhymes. He got a whole archive of them. And then the shit all burnt down. He's like, dude, I had some fire ass shit.
I had
his
my
friend's
rhyme.
Like, oh yeah,
I had my-
where they at? Where they
Those
at?
are my those are my rhyme scrolls, volume 1 through 20.
Yeah, it was.
My first rhyme scroll. It's apocalyptic when I hit Septic up his head.
This so with the library itself, it played host to more than just books. It housed international scholars, poets, philosophers, and researchers. They were all provided a large salary, free food, lodging, and exempt from paying taxes. What a fucking life. And then there was said there may have been a zoo as well that housed exotic animals.
Oh, that's sick. They all burned alive, which wasn't sick. But
But the reason why the people at the library were treated so good, why they got all that stuff, is that it was believed that if they were freed from the burdens of everyday life, then they would devote more time and research to their intellectual.
Intellectual.
Thank you. Pursuit. I
welcome.
couldn't.
damn, that wasn't even
Yeah.
one of those crazy Greek words there.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you smoke weed, do shrooms, and drink.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It was.
Let's go.
Okay.
So the library housed anywhere between 30 to 50 educated men. Educated. I don't know why I said that weird. By 283 BC. The scholars there, they had academic freedom, and because they weren't affiliated by any school, but they were subject to the authority of the king, of course. And I actually have a funny story. So a poet named Socrates. That's how the fucking voice thing said it when it said it super loud for whatever reason.
It was
and
such
all
a
distorted.
tease, and they were notable for how they were the biggest tease around. Nobody ever seen somebody tease like that.
No, but he wrote a obscene basically play making fun of Ptolemy for marrying his sister. And so Ptolemy jailed him, and then after he escaped from imprisonment, Ptolemy then captured him again, sealed him in a lead jar, and dropped him into the bottom of the sea.
Wow. So
Yeah,
he's like, look at this sister fucker over here. Boom, bottom of the sea.
That's some paranoid squeaker shit.
Yeah, all it is.
Get
She
that
can jack you up for
motherfucker.
$5. Go get a crackhead.
What is
Like he put him in a lead jar,
He could
dude. He could have
drop
just
you
fucking tied a rock
$5
to
get
him.
a crackhead.
Like he went overboard, above and beyond.
He escaped once. He wasn't gonna let it happen again. He sealed that shit.
Like they could have tied a rock to his chest and wrapped him in fucking rope and just threw him.
Man,
off.
that's
No,
That's a
dude.
waste of resources.
man,
And a
dude,
big
that's-
ass lead jar ain't.
Listen, they had abundance of lead. Lead was like dirt back then. They're just throwing lead in the ocean. Why do you think all these people are crazy now? All this lead poisoning we got. I'm just kidding. No. Yeah, no, that was a bit overkill though. He could have just put him in a regular ass coffin and just throw him in the ocean. Throw
he
some
learned it from
rocks
one
in
of the
there.
scrolls. It's future talk.
I don't know. Or he could have just killed him. I don't know why they just lop his head off.
Yeah. Let's continue with this because I gotta.
I think maybe because
I gotta go
drowning
do something at 9.
So the head librarian also acted as tutor to the king's son as well. So, although you're the head of
the king's son's tutor then got thrown into the ocean in a lead jar.
no,
Oh, it's a different person.
yeah, it's just one of the scholars that were working at the library at the time. He thought it'd
Okay.
be funny to making him seem program, making fun of Ptolemy for fucking his sister. Aristine the second, if that's
Did
how
you
you
say
say
he thought
it.
it was he thought it was fun?
That is
Well, for whatever reason, he thought it was a good idea to make fun of the fucking king, saying, "Ho ho, you fucked your sister." Like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen? So,
Was that part of the Tholomy joke?
What the clapping? Oh,
no.
Like it bombed. The joke bombed hella fucking bad. He was just like, "Hey guys, the king fucked his sister," and nobody laughs because they're afraid. He's like, "Oh, tough crowd."
No, I was trying to. I don't know why I made the noise. Who the fuck knows?
I always cut out your noises, but you always make noises when you're thinking.
Oh no, that
Or
my cousin,
tongue-tied.
my cousin used to make fun of me all the time because I'd be like twisting something. I'm like, he's like, why are you always making sound effects? I was like, why not?
I'm always making sound effects too. I'm never shut the fuck up.
I do too, and expect
Like I'm telling them a story and I'm holding a drill and I'm like, I'll press the drill, and he does that, but I'll still make the noise with my mouth like this.
Dude,
He's like, why?
if I make a
He's like, what?
Sorry.
Good.
I was gonna say if I made a joke and it's just dead silent after, I always make like a weird noise. It makes it even more awkward. Like,
Man, I'm gonna just fuck with you one time I go up there and deliberately try not to laugh at stuff and just look at you deadpan in the face.
it's happened a couple times in this podcast. Actually, more often than not, I feel.
It's you get some good ones in the pod, but
That's why I got the laugh track up. I'm just gonna start.
so you'd be like, "Fuck you guys."
Fuck you guys. I don't need real laughs. I got computer simulated ones.
So this
God damn it! In this pod, I'll be a comedic god. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, I was laughing. I was just gonna say some noteworthy people that came out of the library.
Make a computer generated one.
So Xenodotus, however the hell you say his name.
The god of xenophobia. Yes.
Yeah, he was known to have written a glossary of rare and unusual words, and he thus organized it in alphabetical order, making him the first known person to use this method of organization. He only used the first letter, though, in his organization, so it wasn't until the 2nd century AD that anyone decided to use the second letter in the word to make it more, streamlined instead of just putting all the A's together and all the B's together. Like AAs go together.
This is gonna be so dope.
I alphabetize my video games that I have. So.
There's gonna be 26
Mike?
of these bad boys.
Oh, I alphabetize my video games and shit.
Oh, do you? I put them. I separate them by genre of game. Like if it's like Call of Duty's, like got their first person shooters, right here. Some like you get some like RPG like story things all go together. I got some hunting games, some UFC games, and all my sport games go together. I separate them like that.
My nephew, he has a bunch of games on Steam and shit, and they're on his desktop. And so one day, he had them in an order. One day, I just fucked with him, and I took all the stuff and wrote out "fuck you" and all the applications, and I just left it there. And then he came back from work, and he texted me. He goes, "What the fuck is this?" I just laughed. I said, "I'll fix it. Don't worry." The next time I went over, I put it all in alphabetical order. He's like, "I didn't even have it this good." I was like, "You're welcome."
Dude, I would just start switching shit. Like if it's a fighting game, two sweaty shirtless guys fighting. Just sports games, like people hiding from their own homosexual tendencies. Just
Oh no! See, I didn't change the names of anything. I literally took all the applications and spelled out "fuck you" on the desktop. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
So,
I see what you mean.
blocks.
Oh, that's okay. That makes it. I was like, how the hell did you do this?
Yeah, so it's like all the blocks for the applications, I just put them and wrote out "fuck you." And so I completely messed up his entire organization on his computer for the joke. So I put it in alphabetical order afterwards. In sections. So all the games were in one spot in alphabetical, all the applications were in another, all the files and documents were in another. I organized it good. I actually had fun doing it. I like organizing stuff when I get in the mood for it, even though I live in a very unorganized fucking lifestyle.
Nice. All right,
Like,
so the
all my comics are organized in alphabetical order too.
Dude, I wish I had
Liar.
actual physical
I'm just kidding.
comics. I just don't ever have the fucking money for anything. And I keep telling myself when tax season comes around, I'm gonna buy them. But then I get into this weird fucking like self-conscious, not self-conscious, like my conscious eating at me kind of thing. And it's like, dude, why are you doing that? You be using that money for something fucking else. And it's like, no, but dude, but I mean, it is because I'll end up using this money for fucking beer later. It's like, no, you won't. You won't fucking do that. And it turns this big thing. And then I, in fact, do use the money for beer later. So it's like all the money I use on beer, I could be using more for hobby shit. But I
Okay.
don't.
I will say this: it's like
Getting things for
by
myself.
like comic, like what comic it is, like Preacher. It's Preacher. I'm not going by issue name. That's
No, no.
psychopathic. The
Yeah.
issues are in order. I'm not.
But getting the whole fuck. What do they call that? The big ass fucking books with everything in it. Like if you get the big volumes, the volumes of the one through whatever.
Yeah. I got the compendiums. I have one. I have one
kept trying to say
compendium.
I kept
I
trying
have-
to say pendulum instead of compendulum. That's what I meant to say.
I like for Preacher. I have the books, not the hardcover. I don't know if they have hardcover Preacher. For Walking Dead, I have one compendium, a whole bunch of books, and then I have volumes, and then I have issues.
Mm.
So pretty much as I was catching up,
Casey's eating
my
his kid's
things got
candy.
smaller and smaller until I was getting single issues every week. So
Yeah, and see, I want to do that, and I keep telling myself I don't have money for it when I do have the money.
well, it's like
and
I
end up
signed up.
spending the money on something. Stupid.
Yeah, for like the 1 year that Image had a fucking mailing service, I was signed up for Image's mailing service,
Mm.
and I actually didn't even get all the comics through there. They fucking refunded me for my last 3 months because the thing went under.
So the
would-
next person was Callimachus. He was a scholar and a poet.
Come lick and
And,
kiss.
Yeah,
That's what
he
it
was
sounds like.
known for. He was
Known
known
for
for
getting-
compiling the
No,
penny
for
keys.
sitting in aisle for in alleyways and going, "Hey, come lick at this." And he pulled out- That's what got him arrested, and what got him- come lick at us.
But the penny keys was a 120-page catalog of various authors and their known works. It was divided into multiple sections, each containing entries for writers of a particular genre of literature. The most basic division was between writers of poetry and prose. Each section was divided into smaller subsection with each author in alphabetical order. Each entry included author's name, father's name, place of birth, and other brief information, sometimes including nicknames of the authors and their complete list of known works, all alphabetized because they were just taking the alphabetation. I can't even fucking talk.
Alphabetation. I don't know what that word is.
Yeah.
It sounds made up.
Maybe it is made up. I don't know. Alphabetation. That does sound right. Does sound made up. I don't know. But so the next guy is Apollonius of Rhodes.
Oh, dude, I know him. He was hella good at shoving apples up his ass.
Yeah. He was a native
most
of
formerly known
Alexandria.
as Apple Holius by his friends. All right, yeah. But
Sir
continue.
Gapius.
Sir Gapius, Apollonius of Gapius, Maximus of Maximus Gapius,
Son of Gapius.
son of Gapius, grandson of Banana Splitanius, and great grandson of Avocanius. Okay, now this is just getting ridiculous. Let's just get back into it. But let's go ahead and give me a courtesy laugh, anyways. All right, let's go. Oh shit, my phone's at 4%.
So he was a native of Alexandria, a student of Callimachus, was appointed the head librarian of Alexandria and tutor of the future son
I'm sorry.
Ptolemy
but
the Third.
Chlamydia. What was his name? Was that what chlamydia was named after?
Climacus is what I meant to say. My bad.
It was the first case
Climacus.
of chlamydia.
Did I say it weird?
No, it just like
Climacus?
it just sounded.
I might have
almost
said it
like
weird the first time,
chlamydia,
though.
like chlamydias.
Oh, man, got me cracking up. But he was head librarian, and he was best known for his epic poem Argonautica. Is that how you say it? But it's a poem about Jason and the Argonauts. This poem displayed Apollonius's vast knowledge of history and literature, and makes allusions to the vast array of events and texts while simultaneously imitating the style of Homeric poems. Some fragments of his scholar writings did survive, but he is more famous today. He's more famous today as a poet than he was a scholar, and he was forced to resign from his position. But we'll get into that. And then next is Archimedes. He was
Did he create Arkham Asylum?
Yeah. According to legend, he the mathematician and inventor came to visit the Library of Alexandria during his time in Egypt. It was said that he observed the Nile River rise and fall, and this led him to invent the Archimedes screw, which was used to transport low-lying bodies of water into irrigation ditches.
That's dope as fuck.
Yeah, just sitting around watching a river. Huh. I have an idea. He just masturbated into some driftwood.
Yeah. Or onto a lily pad, because he's like, hey, who's ever done this before? That's actually his nickname, Lily Pattis. Lily Pattis Cumdrimius.
I was gonna see
Why does everything go back to dick jokes?
because you're a simple-minded man.
You're a simple-minded man. Hey, take a look at this. I was looking at this Roman General Julius Caesar. What is it? Statue of Julius Caesar. It's just it's funny to me because
Yeah.
look how lop-headed the fucking sculpture is. One side of his head, I'm just gonna describe the fucking, it's a bust, pretty much. It's just the neck and head. And one side, the left side of his fucking head is going out hella far. Was his head that lopsided? It seems like his brain has a shoe attached to the end of
Julius Caesar was had an ailment of afflictions. He would have like fucking seizures all the time. So maybe that's why. I think that was him. If I'm
Because
thinking of
his
the right
brain-
guy.
because his brain was trying to stretch out to the side. Like, bro, control your cranium. Hey, dog, control your cranium, all right? It's trying to get away from you, okay? You out of your mind, you batshit. Your skull's literally trying to get away from you right now. Dude, that is fucking weird. It almost looks like a tumor on the side. And also, why the fuck would you sculpt part of your brain like that? Like, have somebody sculpt your head like that. It's like, yeah, get the whole thing. Are you sure you want me to get the pulsating thing going on the side of your head? Yeah, dude, just get that. The real me. No filters.
So yeah, fuck that. Talking about it. Well, let's talk about expansion. Expansion of this library.
Brain expansion.
Yeah, no, Eratosthenes. Is that how you say it? Eratosthenes? Eratosthenes was best known for his scientific words, but also his literary. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
English words.
Dude, you're getting so tongue-tied with the shrooms.
Oh, I
the
know.
shrooms, the weed.
Scholar.
I know that when I take shrooms, it feels like like it's harder to talk.
But so his most important work was the Treatise Geographica. I think that's how you say it, which was originally in 3 volumes, but the work itself did not survive, unfortunately. But there were quotes and other works that referenced it. But he was the first to apply mathematics to with geography and able to do. He was the first to apply mathematics with geography, and in doing so, he was able to measure the circumference of the Earth and was only off by a few hundred kilometers.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes.
pretty goddamn impressive.
He also produced the map of the entire known world, which he incorporated from information taken from the sources held in the library. Some of the sources were accounts from Alexander the Great's campaigns in India and reports written by members of thematic elephant hunting expeditions along the coast of East Africa. He was the first one to advance geography towards a scientific discipline. He believed that this. Oh, wait, sorry, I should space that out a little bit. He also believed that the setting of Homeric poems was purely imaginary and argued that the purpose of poetry was to capture the soul rather than to give historically accurate accounts of actual events.
He's right. It's just like music. Music is a pure expression of emotion and soul.
Yeah, it's what defines art is coming from the soul. Despite Matthew keeps talking about the whole what defines art, just because an AI can do art better. It's like, well, no, because at that point, it's no longer art in that sense. It's coming from an algorithm. It's not really, a lot of it's sloppy, yeah, and it's probably going to get better. But I mean, to me personally, that's not actual fucking art. Because what defines art, it's a human expression of whatever. So if AIs are just creating art and they're the perfect fucking being,
So only humans can create art?
I think when it comes from the soul, machines, it comes from the soul. Whether
So
you believe
you're saying if I go to SeaWorld and they put a paintbrush in this dolphin's mouth and he's sitting
okay
there.
from organic
I'm just
beings,
joking.
from
I'm just fucking
organic
with you,
beings,
Joseph.
not from an AI thing. I don't want to say synthetic, whatever, because I mean maybe they can evolve into consciousness and everything else. I'm not doubting all that, but from the standpoint that it is now, when Matthew said it was ridiculous that a machine won an art contest, it's like, no, it's not. And it's like, no, because that's when you really got to break down the word art. When you get into more of a philosophical,
that's why I hate headlines.
Science one.
Well, what I was more getting at is with literary stuff,
No, I
and
spiraled
pictures
out,
and
I'm
music
sorry.
and music and stuff like that is stuff that is historical is not meant to evoke a emotional response. Poems, music, TV, movies, even with stuff that is a true story, they're adding some drama to it in order to evoke a emotional response, which is what art is.
Yeah.
So the next guy, his name is Bacchius, and he was known to have edited and commented on the medical writings of the Hippocratic Corpus. So that's pretty nifty.
That's where the Hippocratic Oath comes from.
Yes,
Hippocrates.
Sorry,
I'm sorry,
The
dude,
Hippocratic Opus was that written by Hippocrates? That is right? That is the guy's name. Who I'm thinking of, the guy who came up with the Hippocratic Oath.
It's gotta be crazy. Some of these names come from some serious fucking names. Like, it's so cool because it's like you always think about this person because it came from that name. But I feel bad for the guy who came up with the whole rape term. Like, you gotta fucking be upset if your name was molestices. Fucking fucked up. I didn't do anything, all right, you fucking pervert. No, dude, I came up with the term for it, all right? You guys are just doing it all willy-nilly. I'm the one that said it was wrong. Like, leave me alone.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm over here just staring at this Julius Caesar bust, and I can't get over the fucking head. Mike, you were gone for this, but look at it. Why is it protruding to the fucking left like that? It's fucking weird. I'm just staring at it. I don't know.
He might have had a tumor or something.
People were afraid to address it.
He had seizures all the time. I'm pretty sure that was Julius Caesar.
He was fucking nuts, and
Hey, you know what? You know what is? You know what people said behind his
he
back?
stole a day from February.
Do you guys know what they said behind his back? They called him Tumorous Caesar. They were not. They were
So-
not.
Speaking of the human anatomy, we had a Hero Phyllis and fuck. How do you say this? I had it down. Give me a sec. Stratus. These two studied human anatomy, but of course their studies were hindered because people don't like progress, and it was immoral to dissect human corpses.
That's so stupid.
That's what I'm saying. Fucking pussies. Afraid of progress is what the problem was.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
That was actually the arresting officer. The one that was always keeping tabs on was fucking digress. God damn it! I lost the thing. There.
Digress.
Yeah, digress. Disease. He was always about digress. I don't know.
He was always telling you a point, and then he would go on to a new subject.
That sounds about half of the subject.
And I digress.
Drunk. That sounds me right about now. I'm about fucking. What is that? Oh shit.
So
7.
How many beers?
9. This is my 9th beer.
There you go.
so the library at this point ended up being a bi-directional port between the mainland and the Faroes Island, and they welcomed trade from the east and the west, and soon found itself to be an international hub for trade.
I'm sure there was some pubs there.
Yeah, I'm sure there was. And of course, they're the leading producer of the papyrus, and leading producer of books in the world as well, because they had the monopoly on the fucking resources to make the books. So, and as the library expanded and it ran out of space to house the scrolls in its collection, during the reigns of Ptolemy III, he opened a satellite connection in the I'm just gonna look it up. Give me one sec. Mikey,
Is it the Serapium?
Is that how you say it? Serapium?
I'm looking at a word that has a similar start. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably
Present day
what it is.
ruins of the Serapium of Alexandria. I'm looking at a
Yes.
picture.
Probably.
Serapium.
Yeah. Because that's the only one that they know
Serapium?
where the
Serapium. It's either Serapium or Serapium.
Serapium.
Yeah.
Serapium of Alexandria, a temple to the Greco-Egyptian god Serapeus, located near the royal palace.
That's what's up. It's cool. If you learn the names of gods, you get a lot of the fucking names of other stuff. Because how much shit is named after them.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah, that's how I
going around tongue-tied trying to yell at your fucking neighbors over here. What the fuck's your name, Aristophanes?
There's also the Amputitus, the god of amputees. That guy's sick. Well, I mean, no, he's
Speaking
Like
of
literally, he's sick because he has like
literally,
gangrene and shit.
Yeah, he's gangrene and shit. He actually, because that's the whole mythology around him, he kept losing limbs, so he kept taking them from unborn children.
And here's the funny thing is they didn't know he had syphilis.
Yeah. Until syphilitis came around and was just
Yeah.
like,
These stupid fucking jokes. They're going far. They're going far, my man.
they're gonna get darker, deeper, and darker as we progress through this pod. So we should probably rapidly get through this.
Yes, let's go.
So we already talked about Aristophane anyway. He was the fourth head librarian. He was the one who Joseph had a hard on for. That
Yeah, boy.
switched up the poetry and whatnot. And
Yeah,
that's
I
his,
sit there and write. When I write and I do that, now I can thank him for that.
He was like the first DJ putting remixes on that shit.
I'm actually
yeah.
I'm actually the reincarnation of him. I'm just playing. I wish.
So the
I get
fifth
it.
head librarian was Apollonius, and he was described as a obscure individual.
Yeah, he shoved apples up his ass. We already covered this.
Yeah,
I figured he
Yeah.
shoved abalone up his ass.
I don't even know what that is. Do explain. What was
That abalone is a type of shellfish.
Holy shit, that's actually even better. That is probably what he did. So everybody's like, what is that smell? It smells like ass and fish. Who's got an ass fish? And then he's just walking by, minding his own business, whistling.
Abalonius.
Oh, Abalonius. Let me see how to say
It's
this.
like, how could you tell it was me? It's a Scooby-Doo moment. They pull a mask off. It's like, we can tell by the smell of ass and fish.
So when somebody fucking when somebody would watch, like, kind of get turned on when someone shoved a fish up their ass, they called it abalone-ish. Like,
God damn.
yeah, I kind of like.
I'm
this.
sorry, Casey.
Oh, you're good.
I kind of like this ass fish smell. That's abalone-ish. Actually, it's funny. That's actually what our air fresheners are here in our place right now. What do you call those things?
What? I'm not understanding.
Okay, yeah, these things here.
The blade
Febreze.
fresher.
Febreze, yeah, the little fucking Febreze plug-in things. This
Yeah.
this scent is actually abalone-ish. It's nice fish ass smell. We only keep it in the bathroom to remind us how bad things could really get. I'm just kidding. This is actually,
it reminds us of simpler times.
This is actually some kind of wine smell. It's actually really good. It covers up all shit smells.
You fucking alcoholic. No.
I think I didn't actually pick it out though, and it's a really good smell, and all of our clothes smell like it when we leave.
Nice.
So it's a really strong scent. It smells really good. I forget what it's called though.
Is that why I have the urge to lick you whenever I'm around? It's like, you smell like wine.
Is that why I always have the urge to chug you?
Continue.
Come here, you little bastard. I just want to drink you without chasing you. Oh, wait. Double.
It's funny because I hate wine.
I
can't
don't like
stand the
wine
shit.
either.
I
I get
hate it.
headaches from it as soon.
I think it tastes like shit.
Casey, do you remember we used to drink the $5 box wines, or were they $10 box wines? Remember, Greg
It's
used to get them?
$10, and
$10?
they're only good if you smack the bag first. So Aristarchus was the 6th head librarian, and he earned his reputation as the greatest of all ancient scholars and produced texts of classic poems and works of prose, but wrote them in a he wrote them with freestanding commentaries on them. These commentaries would often cite passages of classic text, explain its meaning, define its unusual words, and comment if the passage was by the original author or if it has remarks by new authors. I saw your cum jar.
You can't say that without any reference like that.
Continue.
It was a jar.
Don't explain it. Just
Yeah,
continue.
we know it was a jar of cum, Joseph. We were past that point. In 145 BC, he got caught up in a dynastic struggle, which supported Ptolemy the Seventh as ruler of Egypt, and then Ptolemy the Seventh was murdered by Ptolemy the Eighth, who immediately began to punish all the people who supported his predecessor, forcing
Dude,
talking
that's
all these
embarrassing. That is embarrassing to die.
Aristarchus to flee
from your
Egypt and take
namesake.
refuge in Cyprus. Sorry, I forgot how to say his name.
Yeah.
From your namesake killing you? That's grimy as fuck.
God damn it, Joe.
Ptolemy the Eighth then expelled all foreign scholars from
With you.
Alexandria, forcing them to disperse across the eastern Mediterranean.
I'm just messing with you, Joe.
No, I know. I got distracted because I thought you would appreciate this, Mike. I just seen this.
Another jar of cum? Come on, man. Oh, no. That does look cool, though.
That's dope.
A Peacock Original Crystal Lake, new series 2023.
Friday the 13th. Fuck yeah.
Dude, I wonder if, that's kind of cool. I'm still trying to get on the Chucky series. I just haven't. I want to
It's
rewatch
good.
all
The first season's good.
After Ptolemy the Eighth expelled all the scholars from Alexandria, this caused a shift in history in the Hellenistic scholarship. Most of the scholars who stayed still continued to conduct their research and whatnot, but no longer did with the association of using the library. Like they weren't claiming they were doing their works from
They're
there.
like, nah, bro.
So from the middle of the 2nd century and onward, nomadic rule in Egypt became increasingly unstable. They were confronted with growing social unrest and other major political and economic troubles. Later, the Ptolemies did not give their attention and devotion that the library deserved, and the status of the library and the title of the head librarian diminished. In later years, the title of head librarian was given to the most devoted supporters as a political ploy. And around the 1st century BC, all major classic poetic texts have been finally. Oh,
So this is what led to pretty much the library just falling apart, right? Like
so
people stopped using it, and even like their little like thing where all their best stuff was taken or put, that stopped getting used too.
yeah, you can
right?
thank Ptolemy the Eighth for that. Fucking
Yeah.
cunt.
What was that one called? That like
It's
sister
sad,
one.
dude. We lost a lot of shit in
The
there.
sister library.
Yeah.
We lost a
let me go
lot of
scroll
good
back
shit
up.
there.
Yeah, I got it.
including-
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Like, it set everything back, including the original slogan for Nike, "Just do it." That was set way back then on one of those scrolls. Actually, very irritating through that whole giant ass fucking 10-foot scroll. It was about fucking like slightly to the side, so you'd have to scroll off. Okay, I'm just rambling on. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Just do it was in a scroll, everybody.
So
Hmm.
oh, that's what I was saying. Around the 1st century BC, all major classical poetic texts had been finally standardized all into one.
So I don't know what it was called, but it was in Serapeum. And it says it may have survived after the library's destruction, but it's not sure. It was vandalized and demolished in 39 or 391 AD under a decree issued by the Coptic Christian Pope Theophilus of Alexandria, but it does not seem to have housed books at the time and was mainly used as a gathering place for Neoplatonist philosophers following the teachings of Iamblichus. Iamblichus? I don't fucking know.
So I have a name pronunciation fucking on lock, so when I go to talk about these next people, I can get their names right. So after so that's all our background information on the Library of Alexandria right there.
Yes.
That's everything.
So let's
That's
get
why I
into the possible destruction, or because
Well,
wasn't it
the
like
known destruction.
destroyed? Or the known?
Well, nobody does.
No one knows
Well,
how
it's-
it's destroyed. They just know it was.
Yeah, they
there
don't
was a
even,
bunch
well, they
of
don't even know where the actual location of the place was either. So I mean,
Oh,
It's-
so there's
it
not
could-
even
it-
ruins.
so so it could just be more or less like a fucking it could be like a what the Atlantis. I couldn't think of that. I was gonna say that fucking aquatic world. Atlantis. So
That's-
who knows?
okay.
Maybe it's like an Atlantis kind of. Well, but it's
it's-
referenced in multiple texts though. So I don't
It's
know.
known
Maybe
that
it's
it's
still around,
existed,
just
but it
hidden.
can't be found. Like, so people could what? I bet my theory before knowing any of this is that what happened was a conquering army came, took it down piece by piece, and used all the stuff to make something else, like a palace. That's my guess.
So in 48 BC, during Julius Caesar's civil war, Julius was besieged at Alexandria. His soldiers set fire to some of the Egyptian ships that were docked in Alexandria's port in order to try to block the fleet of Cleopatra's fleet coming in, or belonging to Cleopatra's brother Ptolemy the how many is this? 14th?
damn.
And
Imagine just
and-
keep naming your kid the same thing for so many fucking generations. That shit gets old. Like I would
XIV is
literally-
14, right?
Oh, dude, don't ask me that question when I'm drinking. I don't fucking know.
Because if the one's behind the V, it's -1, so that's 4,
I'm
right?
telling you right now, dude, if
man.
I'm any one of the, if I was Joseph the whatever, no matter what the number was, I'm definitely for hilarious purposes gonna name my kid slightly different. It was gonna be like JOSEF. And be like, I got you where your thing is. That's what my son's middle name is Joseph. But only because it actually kind of flowed better with his name.
And because you're conceited and had to name something after yourself. But
No,
yeah,
I
that's
actually
cool.
wasn't going to. But actually, you know what's funny is his name, his
It's
initials.
keeping kids is just keeping cum as a pet.
His initials are the same as Matthew's. Like Matthew and him have the same initials. So I mean
That's
that's
cool.
kind of cool. But yeah, sorry. I was just making a joke about the namesake stuff.
But
Keeping
no,
a
you're good.
legacy of meat
But-
sacks.
him trying to block set fire to the ships to block the other ships from coming in. Him doing so, he set some of the buildings on fire around and created considerable damage. And it was believed at least 40,000 scrolls were lost in the fire. At the bare minimum.
It's a hot amount. So what are all the theories of the possible reasons it was burned down? I'll let you token.
Well,
sir.
the reason is till his time. What Matthew was talking about, destroy the previous inhabitants' culture and everything, destroy their history. They know nothing, and they're forced to learn anew. You know, history is written by the winners.
Yeah.
So anything that we're talking about could also be a fucking lie too, because
Yeah. Well, yeah,
We're
you
all-
never really fucking know. That's the thing. I just when I was talking about earlier, I was talking about well that like they stated that, oh well, this was already discovered, whatever. Which yeah, could be a lie too, but also I mean I may have been talking out of fucking whatever because we were kind of jumping in without any of the actual key points to the subject. But
That
no,
was
I mean, yeah,
wild.
easily whatever. I mean, you can't believe half the shit.
I believe that Julius Caesar is the one who did it. There was a Muslim invasion as well.
Yeah,
in Alexandria.
I didn't want to delve into that without any of the facts because I want to make it seem like I was like attacking like Muslim people, whatever. It's just that's what like there was multiple different people that attacked.
Well, I was gonna say the Muslim people did attack Alexandria, and probably because they were being cunts. Not the Muslims, the Alexandrian people, because their whole fucking city was all in disrepair anyway.
There was Christians that attacked it too, though, right?
Yeah, there was Christians, Jews, and what do you call them? I can't think of the fucking word. It's the Christian Jews, and because they were all fighting each other. I can't think of the goddamn name that I'm trying to. I'll think of it. Just give me a minute. But you can go ahead and continue.
Yeah, there's multiple like religious sects of people that did it. That's why I didn't want to say the Muslim thing because I didn't know the exact.
Oh, pagans. Fuck.
Pagans.
That's what it was.
There we go. Oh, those bad boys.
Yeah. So what happened was the Jewish people ended up dragging some Christian lady through, and I think they ended up like through town and ended up killing her. So then the Christians revolted by attacking the Jewish people and the pagans. The pagans, I don't even think they even started anything. They just got caught up in the middle of it.
Damn, Mordecai, why'd she have to die? Sorry, that was a no, in all seriousness here. Okay, fuck me sideways. Yeah, I didn't want to like persecute any type of or make it seem like I was focusing harshly on any type of religious group.
No, if it was anybody who needs to be persecution, is the fucking Romans, man. They were on a conquering war path. Yeah, under Christian rule of the Roman Empire. Theodus the first, pagans were persecuted, pagan rituals were outlawed, the pagan temples were destroyed, and in 391 AD, the Bishop of Alexandria, Theophilus, ordered the destruction of the Serapeum and its conversion into the church. During this destruction, group Christian workmen uncovered the remains of an old Mithraeum. This sounds like made up shit now.
Welcome to the peace and
Anyway,
banner.
but
Oh,
the Christians were
Memhard. Here's the Sarah, whatever.
no, but basically what I was getting at was the Christians were being cunts in the Roman rule too, because they were persecuting people just because they didn't believe what they wanted to believe. So it was like, oh nope, they're wrong. Fucking let's outlaw their
Sounds
way
like
of life.
modern time, except for politics, have replaced a lot of religious things. But I know religion plays a big part in things too. But it's like with politics, like, oh, we don't believe the same thing. Fuck this person.
No, but I think Rome's to blame for the destruction, 100%.
Oh yeah,
There's no doubt. Even if other invaders came or not, Julius Caesar was on a war path. He wanted to conquer the entire world.
well yeah,
But
Casey, they crucified Jesus. Of course they were.
the only thing that he was able to conquer is that corner market for cheap pizza. Let me tell you. No. But what we came here to talk about. Well, let me hear what you think, Joseph. Do you think the library burning down? Do you think that set us back 1,000 years?
I can't give a specific time, but I definitely think that it set us back because you got to think about it. I mean, things that people discovered later that turns out was already discovered or supposedly discovered, like definitely we would have evolved a lot faster. Intellect.
Yeah, I think it definitely set us back. I don't know well, I'd say 1,000 years at least, because like that's like the equivalent of us losing the internet today. Like, how far back would that set us?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long it would take for us to recover all our texts and everything that we have.
Yeah, because
Like, say we lost all that. Yeah.
And then not even 20 years after the internet's lost, the new generation will be like, well, how do you know if any of that was real?
Yeah, and then they're like, oh yeah, because somebody else wrote it down off of a
programmed it into some fucking god computer. You guys.
So it'd be interesting to see like a modern day collapse of something, because I'm sure it's coming soon, but because it'd be interesting to see how far, like how humanity would get back on track. You know what I mean? And how we'd get back to where we were, because there would be no references to anything. Like if we lost all our digital I mean, we have our hard copies, you know, but let's just say we lost all of it, all our knowledge all at once to tomorrow, you know, like everything was gone. We'd be fucked.
And one person had a hard drive on a computer that had a bunch of useless information on it, and they're just like
a bunch of fucking porn videos.
So it's what is this? This is Mia Khalifa. She was a goddess. Yeah, I don't think she's that great. Well, you don't know her. Well, what's this article about her saying wrestling's fake? Isn't what she's doing fake? No. This is pleasure.
Yeah, no, it's fucking. Yeah, definitely, it would have been. It'd be crazy. That's why I don't like. People say, "Oh no, it's no way it could set you back 1,000 years," in which I don't know about 1,000 years, but I know it'd be a few fucking rough, fucked up ones. Like I don't know. It's crazy. And then plus all the stuff that we like, say someone learned, well, like what we talked about, somebody learned, like, invent something, but then it got lost, and then somebody else invents it, but then they find record that it was already invented fucking 200 years prior, you know? And it's like, oh shit, like if we had that technology, where would that guy's headspace be at that point, you know? And then so on and so forth, and like, how much more advanced do you think we'd probably be?
Yeah, and there's no actual way of telling, because maybe we wouldn't be.
Yeah,
It's a slow process, but I mean, it's noteworthy, you know. Think
Yeah,
about it.
it's
How
it's
far
it's
along
definitely
we could possibly be if we had all the information from that damn library.
if it even existed.
Yeah.
We also got to throw that out there too.
Yeah, I know. Earlier I did say that it did exist for sure, but I don't know. I think I just did that in the heat of fucking whatever that fucking was. But whatever.
But it is referenced, though. It had to some sort of it existence, whether it's in literary form or physical, or maybe it's still out there and we just haven't found it. There's also that possibility because we don't even know where it was actually located exactly.
There was a great fire, and it wasn't that one, and it's still going right now. Except for now, it's all digital copies, and they keep the rest of it in a cold, dark basement with fucking that smells like mold and swamp nuts, and that's where it all goes. They call it
But yeah,
the
I
dole.
think this. Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Oh, I don't remember.
I was gonna say I just thought this because I knew about the. I always I've heard about the Library of Alexandria before I looked it up, but I didn't know there was this much how much famous shit came out of there. I thought I didn't know there was a lot of stuff that we use today and reference today came from that library. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the technology as well that came from it. Why is that?
Yeah, and it's crazy. And there's a lot of stuff you do every day, sexual shit, missionary. People wouldn't have done missionary if they didn't and the book originally had missionary. It was lucky that some Christian guy picked it up while looking at stuff because before all that, people were actually having sex, doing weird somersaults and shit. It's very acrobatic.
They also say that before we get out of here, I just wanted to say this too. They also say that the Vatican actually stores whatever was survived of the Library of Alexandria. It said that's where it's said to store all those documents, and plus the original writings of the Bible are said to be stored because they were inside. It was said that the Bible was actually written inside the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah, I've heard about that, and also the torn pages from Molestius. They just got the wrong part. They didn't get the it's bad part. They just kept the other part. The pages are burned.
But yeah, I don't know. This for you guys listening, you guys should go check it out. It's pretty crazy. There's a lot of hard names in there, so thank you guys for bearing with us. It's never you never want to pronounce a different name wrong or sound like a jackass doing it, but I sure make a good fucking habit of doing it all the time. I was gonna say I do it all the fucking time.
We do it.
I'm so horrible. But yeah, you guys should check it out. It's a good fucking read. I got really into this one, so I'm sure if you guys looked it up, you'd get into it as well. Watch a couple videos, a couple documentaries. It's great stuff.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and
Well, thank you guys for listening to the Library of Alexandria. And thanks for tuning in. I'm Casey.
I'm Mike.
I'm Joseph.
And I am Matt. I have successfully integrated my conscious into a software program I created for the specific purpose of watching male influencers work out live via Instagram. Dare I say I go ham on male spam on Instagram, but I digress. Sorry guys, I found a way to make literal digital fireball through a complex algorithm I made through ones zeros and that weird upside down E symbol. Thank you for sticking with us here at the Conspiracy Theory Outpost.